Hi to you, Rob.
Good morning, Ben. How are you?
Well, I was fine until I found out the CD might be on the way out. It's an important part of my life up to now.
Well, I think it was first designed in 1979 to have, 80 minutes of music on. Interestingly enough, you played Dire Straits. I was really thinking that because ABBA released their last studio album in 1981 on CD, so I was kind of under the impression that was the
Yeah,
first
I
one.
didn't.
But
I wanted to play Dire Straits.
I, I, I,
They're
I did
among there.
closet. I thought I bet Ben's a closet Dire Straits fan, although he did. You had such a great start with playing the phonics, so I was very impressed there. But so I shall let you off.
Just give us some history then. They've been around for a lot longer than we think. Like you said, that first one in '79.
Yeah, so that was like the test one when it was designed to have like 80 minutes of music on, and I think there was like ABBA, and then Bruce Springsteen. I think was another big early one. But let's be honest with you. I mean, they've been around what over 40 years. And then of course they would have been hard hit with MP3, Apple Music, Spotify, and Amazon, and of course the trend of now vinyl, which is sort of hitting them again.
And they must have had a huge impact, Rob. As soon as the
Oh,
CD came out with 80 minutes of music on from any artist, I mean, they must have just, as soon as that had been invented, it must have just taken
oh,
off.
yeah, because it was kind of built to be indestructible, of course, wasn't it? Nice sort of shiny silver disc. But like everything, fashion things come back round, don't you? Like now the cassettes are popular again, but I don't think this is going to be the demise of CDs. People are always going to still want them, and if you're a collector of a certain artist, so say you like Oasis or Michael Jackson or Dire Straits per se, and they do a limited edition box set and a limited edition CD, then collectors will still want them, and people will still. Like I've got an old 70s Beetle that I drive around in, and I can only pick up three radio stations. So when I bought Liam Gallagher's new album, I bought the CD as well. So I mean, just because Sainsburys have decided not to sell them, it doesn't mean that that's the end of the CD at all.
Why has their popularity waned? You hope that the CD won't be gone for good, but the sales have generally, well, quite alarmingly dropped. What's been the reason for that? Because we've still got CD players in our cars, or a lot of us have, and they're still pretty easy to
Well,
whack into a
yeah,
radio on top of the radio or whatever.
they are. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of the new cars aren't being built with CD players. But like I said before, when MP3s came out, then it's like Spotify, isn't it? Amazon, Apple Music, and things just change, don't they? But I mean, I work within the music industry of having a label myself, and a lot of new bands they all want their singles released on vinyl or limited edition vinyl. They do release on CDs because they are cheaper, but I mean, it's never going to replace all the artwork from albums and LPs. People love,
Yeah.
having, vinyl and so much with CDs as well. People want to hold something and look at the artwork where, if not, you're just looking at, Spotify, aren't you?
Yeah. Do you think there might be some value in holding on to the old CD sleeves then of the albums that we've got? I'm thinking of all these ones I've got in my garage.
I suppose it's like the dinky toy, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you've got the CD that's still got the shrink wrap in, it's not been opened. Some bands did limited edition ones. People are always looking for that. Like the Now albums. You remember the like Now? This is what I call music. If people have got like the whole collection, or someone's looking for the odd one. I mean, there are certain CDs that will be worth money, but I mean, not in the scale of vinyl
Yeah.
collectability. I don't.
And interesting because CDs were sort of brought in to replace vinyl, and now it's what they
Yes.
replaced that's coming back to squeeze their cells.
Yeah,
What's happened there?
I think it's just fashion things come full circle, don't they? And people just, I mean, I DJ with vinyl, and people love it, if they hear the little scratch or the little bump, and, you play these records that are 40, 50 years old, or, and people love to see you stand there, pull out the record out the sleeve and flip it over to make sure you play the right side. You can display them at home on a shelf, the lovely artwork. And I think it just fell back into favor again. I think it just became the hipsters, everyone thought it was cool to play vinyl, and then it just took off. And then the supermarkets like Sainsbury's started do sell vinyl.
Yeah, and I know you're a music author, Rob, but DVDs, I mean, they're again, it's the same thing, isn't it? Just all these streaming services that have come on
Well,
board now that we
people,
we can watch anything we've got on DVD at any given time, can't we?
well, I suppose it's like books as well, isn't it? People can look on these Kindles, but it's lovely to have a shelf full of books, isn't it? And people just come around and see what you've got. If not, they're going to say, "Well, can I have a look on your tablet and see what playlists you listen to on Spotify?" I mean, I know people won't, not everybody will be able to have a jukebox at home with vinyl, but it is nice to have the vinyl there or the CDs out. And people like to have a little nose, don't they? Have a look, come around, have a drink or a party, and get the CDs out. And it's a bit nostalgic, isn't it? As well.
Well, hopefully we won't lose those days altogether. Thank you very much, Rob Fiddaman, music author and broadcaster. Talk to me then about CDs and DVDs. Do you